So I would go to meetings, whether it's IHSA, athletic directors, and all these things, and you would hear people brag on us. They'd brag on the ADs and they'd brag on the coaches. And they would talk about, they just praise us, what we're doing, hanging in there, the COVID, and all these things we're doing for the kids, and And I thought, no, they got it 100% wrong. I praise these kids for what they went through. I'm gonna have my team up here in a minute, and we got 10 kids this year. And that's unheard of at our school. We're used to JV and varsity boys basketball. We're used to having, 15 to 23 kids. There was one year not too long ago, we had actually a C team. For us, that's huge. And I know at other schools, that's no big deal. I get that. But when you're dealing with numbers that we deal with, and they're playing every sport we have, the boys and girls, that says a lot. But anyways, with our girls the same way. It was just so difficult to practice. Like I said, you couldn't run drills really more than 8 or 9. You just didn't know if somebody was going to be sick or out. And then we all got hit with the COVID. We had a 14-day quarantine with the girls, and then they hit the boys, and then 2 days later we had to play Lutheran, and it was like this all year. And I don't praise me. I do praise my coaches and my staff, man. They just kind of kept me calm, I guess. But I just really want to brag on the kids. It's really difficult for them. And man, they got through. And so really proud of our girls. They won 9 games. We almost got to 10. I'm really looking forward to the future. They are young. They took it on the chin a few games, but man, they got through it, and it's going to help them down the road. I know that's hard to understand when they're going through it, but they'll get better from it, and they're better people by sticking through. And good to see you, Sierra, by the way. Yeah, same. All right, I'm going to have my coaches come up. I've got like a coach per player.
Pretty much.
So this really giving me a hard time, so I can explain that a little bit. But if I can have all my coaches come up, just come on up, guys. And anyways, I know Dion couldn't be here, but so the plan was maybe just at the beginning of this year, I think it was just going to be Schussler and I, and Dion joined us later, and we love having Dion with us, but. We didn't get a chance to have elementary basketball. We didn't get a chance to have middle school basketball. So, and I know these guys, Roy and Larry here, they really enjoy being around the kids. They really enjoy coaching, and they do a great job even with the smaller kids, and that was our intent. But then when we didn't have those age groups, I was like, man, you might as well just come on for the ride, and hopefully we can mentor you as a coach. Maybe we can mentor a little bit spiritually. Maybe we can grow. And so that's why we had, all of us on the bench. I even had my son Price. He's somewhere around here. But anyway, I had Price, join us on the bench, and Price is like, Dad, I could bring energy to the bench. And so after the first game, I'm like, we got to talk, son. So anyway, I love having Price over there. He loves these guys, and even though he's graduated, it is a family thing. And it's really neat to see the alumni come back, and it really stunk that we can only have a certain amount of fans at the games and all that, and having to tell the alumni it's family first. I had so many people getting upset with me, and I was like, man, it's not my call. So anyway, but I appreciate the coaches. I appreciate Roy. Roy would drive us to almost every game, so we got there safe. I would ride with him. Really enjoyed the talks we've had. I got to know him more and more. He doesn't say a lot, but he's got some really good experience that would help us. Won a state championship at Ron Collin football, and he just brings some things for the team that helps. And I've really enjoyed to get to know him. And then Larry, man, I'd always put him on the spot. It just seemed like every game we're getting ready to pray, and we like to let people know we praise God. We pray. We're not ashamed to pray, take a knee. It's not a show. It's just trying to humble ourselves before the Lord. And I look around, and Larry's like, I know he's going to call on me. And every time, he's our prayer guy. I don't know. It's like, Larry, get to me. I got you, Coach. So really appreciate Larry. These guys love kids. They love being around. They love the experience. They love having impact. And each one of them brings something different to the plate. Dion's not here, and it's really good to have him back. He is a trainer, by the way. Somebody needed a trainer over there, but he is a trainer. He does really good individually, one-on-one. Really good with the kids. He's got a great testimony how he came to Christ. Really neat to hear him share that with the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade about a week ago in chapel. And then he's also spoke in chapel last year. Dion's a big asset to our program and really love him. Schuessler, asked him to speak, and I'm going to give him some time to think. He turned pale white on me, like, really? Really? Yeah, so but I'd like you to hear from him, maybe here in a few moments as he gathers himself and might get some water in the coach. But anyway, I love Schuessler, really good. He come last year, and we went through a tough year last year. And you guys kind of know how things went. Thank God he's there just kind of hold things together. And then this year, it's just really neat to grow with him spiritually as well. And just, even today, I had a moment, hey, shoot, I need you to come in and pray a couple of minutes, so we pray, and just a good, godly man. And he's a father. Everybody's a father now. Let's give it up for him. He's a dad. Yeah, he's a proud dad. So I get a little nervous. I'm hoping we're not losing him to become a stay-at-home dad or something like that. Anyway, I love Schuessler. I love our coaches, and I know Dion couldn't be here, but I love these guys to death. I'm going to go ahead and, I tell you what, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and just call them up one by one, okay? Coach, if you could get the certificates over there. They are right here, I think, Coach. We'll start with this one. All right, so let's start from the bottom. Now, let's start with this one. All right, I want to bring these guys on up, and each one of these guys and girls, and I'll give it the girls on their letters and pens, make sure they got everything they got. I know a lot of times there's a criteria when you letter. Maybe you got to play 80% of the season or of the games. This year, I just felt like our kids, from October to March, 10 kids, really, how could we not letter them? And I felt the same way with the girls. So each one of these gentlemen and ladies letter, we'll make sure they get their letters and pens and all that. I'm just going to call them up, say a little something about them, and I'll try to hurry. I am trying to buy a little time for our cheer coach, just so you know. I know some of his eyes are like this. Don't go forever, coach. But I'm trying to buy a little time because our cheer coach is on the way. She works and volunteers here. She's a graduate from the school. So Cameron Benninger, if you'll come on. We'll start with Cameron. Cameron with a letter. So Cameron, I'm really excited that he played basketball. He did set out last year, and Coach, when you get that, you can just hand it to him. And Cameron he just was a workhorse. He was the player off the bench. He was the guy that had to do kind of the dirty work. We wanted him to play defense and rebound the ball and hit somebody every now and then. And that was his role, and he did it really well. He knew that if he was around the rim, hey, let's score. My challenge to him was to rebound and put it back. Rebound, put back, Cam, and he did it really well. Also, Cameron, I'll say this about Cameron. He's a really good Christian young man. I'm not going to say boy. He's a good Christian young man. And I feel like when you look at Christian, what you see is what you get. Oh, I'm sorry, with Cameron, what you see is what you get. He's a good Christian young man. And I'm really glad that he came back and played with us. And looking forward to his future. I know he's working on some things, maybe to graduate and all that. So we're going to work all that out. I support that, but I'm glad that you're a part of our Charger family. All right. Ephraim Johnson, come on up. Ephraim is new to us, and love these guys to death, each and every one of them. We are a family. We were tight. I don't want to tell his whole story, but man, I tell you, he's a treat to coach. Anyway, we love him. Thank God, Coach Johnson working with E, and come on over here, give me a little hug. And this guy has the want to, and the challenge is that, the point guard spot was wide open all year this year. The point guard spot's open next year, and he told me, he says, Coach, that's going to be my spot. Here's the nice thing is last year we didn't have a summer. We didn't have no summer. You want to mark this down, June 15 through June 19, we will go to Missouri, and that's a grow-up time for our team. It's a team unity kind of thing, but it's also a time when we get after it. We play all the big schools in Missouri. A lot of family there. They can see who I am, where I come from, my Christian family. I love showing them off, and but also it's a time to go. It's basketball camp, basically, and it'd be a great time for E to step it up during that time. June 15th through 19th. Love E, love what he brings to the game. Very patient, new student, very patient, would get upset at times. Not so much, I don't think, with us, maybe with himself, but we could talk and we can work things out. But looking forward to next year, that's for sure, okay? All right, Caleb Chambers. Go ahead and give me his award. I got no award. So Caleb, come on over, Caleb. Let's stand right here, please. I'll invite you. Go ahead and turn around. Thank you. There we go. All right, now, love these guys, man. These are loving dudes right here, man. And when you need a hug, they're gonna give you a hug. When you need to be picked up, Caleb, he's gonna pick you up. Love to see the growth in Caleb, and I don't like comparing them because I know they're always twins, right? Twins. This is Caleb. This is who Caleb is. And I always challenge Caleb. Caleb, be Caleb. You know, Kyle, be Kyle. You know, but this guy, you know, he stepped into a role that was tough. You know, point guard. I challenge him as a point guard. Challenge him in other areas. And but anyways, he letters, and then also have an award for him as well, I believe here. And so you know, from top to bottom, and this is an important award for me to give, I believe. And some people kind of roll their eyes when they get it, and I hope that's not the case, because you want to see people improve throughout the year. You want to see them just improve, get better and better and better. And man, I was on him. I was hard on him, and he responded real well. And there's been times I have to go back to him and thinking, man, I might hurt his feelings. I don't know. But anyway, our most improved player is Caleb Chambers.
Woo!
Who's that? Yeah, we're. All right, next one is Kyle. He'll come on. So it took me probably a year and a half to figure these two guys out. I mean, it was a mess, and I always get my names mixed up and tongue-tied and, you know, and all that. But now I know who they are, man. And these guys, again, I want to brag on this guy. I'll take that letter, and then we'll get him a letter as well. We'll make sure there's a certificate. There we go. We'll make sure you guys get what you're supposed to get, okay? I don't know if you guys have seen our donor ad. Has anybody seen it? Has anybody seen our donor ad? Anyways, we're advertising the school, had to get some permission with things and all this and that. And you should really go online and try to look it up. But we're out trying to raise funds for the school and all those things. But these two guys right here, what a story, what a story. To see them when they came here, I believe their sophomore year, in the fight, the battle, constant, and to see where they are now. But this guy here, man, he just played his role. He'd come off the bench. He would work that middle like Jason McCory would. So when Jason was out, it was good to have him because he would actually do the things that Jason would do in the middle, especially against the zone. And but Kyle's basketball IQ is off the charts. And so I've just challenged these guys to work, get a little quicker. And I'm looking forward to next year. I will say this about the donor ad. You know, we just have a testimony of Kyle and Caleb and just kind of where they were, where they are now. And I tell you, you see Christ in them. But more importantly, what makes things work is when kids come over here and they fight the authority. What makes it work is supporting parents. And I appreciate that so much. I would call Keith, the dad, the father, I would call him several times when they first came over. You know, we had a lot of battles. I don't mean to embarrass these boys, but it's just how far they've gained. I'm so proud of them. But it wouldn't happen without supportive parents. And they backed us. They trusted the leadership, and they backed us. And these guys, I'm looking forward. I think I said in the donor ad, I'm really looking forward to watching these guys walk down the aisle and graduate. And that's going to be a fun time. This is going to be a sad time. And so, love it, dude.
Yeah.
You can see we have a lot of fun here, a lot of fun. All right, real quick, I'm going to have Jason McCory come on up. So I know Coach had a little moment there giving his Charger Award away. So the Charger Award is something we started a couple of years ago. It's just really it's a student athlete award. You don't have to be a straight A student to get the award. I mean, you could do your best and get average as C's and get this award. But we're looking at, man, just character, somebody that's honest, somebody you could go to as a coach and you could trust what he's going to say or she. It's really everything you want as a coach, and that's what you want in a Charger. And I really feel like the award was very deserving on Trinity there, and I think it's very deserving for Jason. I alluded to the family earlier, but you talk about a servant's attitude, servant's heart. I could let you all leave, and Jason would be in here if I'm trying to clean up water. He's not going to ask. He's just going to jump in and help. But more importantly, man, I watched him in soccer, I watched him in basketball, I watched him in all these sports, and things would get really testy, but he always kept his cool. So on and off the floor, it is exactly what we want a Charger to resemble. So, Jason, you get our Charger award. Yeah. All right, next I'll have Tanner come on up. I'm not going to invite you. We have a lot of fine young men. It's because they come from great families. I'll brag on the family a little bit, embarrass them, but they cut our grass, they take care of the lawn, they take care of whatever. Anytime I need something done, I can call Andy Royer. He's going to be here. But not only that, he always has his kids helping along aside. I'm echoing it. But anyway, just a good work ethic, not just a good work ethic like in the community and with the school and giving and all that. You talk about a work ethic on the floor, in the weight room. Coach, can I get in the gym? Here 24/7. And it was a heartbreaker when we lost our last game to Tinley. Just looked at Tanner and was just so sorry we didn't win our last game. And I know in athletics and here in Indiana, you got 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. You got over 400 schools, and you've heard this before, but only 4 teams are going to win their last game. I don't know if you really understand how difficult that really is to do. Just to win a sectional is hard enough. But I can't tell Tanner thanks enough for his leadership in the classroom, out of the classroom, serving, just seeing you, hey, Coach, I got to go cut the grass real quick. There's been times we asked him to cut the grass at the soccer field, and that was an extra thing, and he's willing to do it. I'm truly going to miss him. He's almost like another son growing up with my boys. They grew up together, and I know Jason was a part of that as well. But anyway, I just want Tanner to know I love him, I'm proud of him, and I'm looking forward to what God has for his future. We also have an award here, I believe. I know sometimes awards you can base them on stats or whatever, and so when you look at stats, it could be a different direction, but when it comes to Offensive Player of the Year, this is what I thought. When Tanner was out of the game, we were really struggling. He really knew the program, he knew the 5-out motion, he knew what we wanted, he knew kind of the core when it comes to the offense. I know other people could do other things, believe me, but when it came to just the core of the offense, we needed Tanner on the floor. Perfect example of that is Tinley. We made a run, got right back in the game, and then about 5 minutes left in the game, Tanner gets his 4th foul, and it's like, what do I do? And so, as a coach, you go back and second guess all that, right? And so just the minute I had him out, it goes from like 10 to 16, and I have to sleep on it, So that's the kind of person Tanner is to our team. I believe he's definitely our Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to speed up a little bit. I think our cheer coach is here. Thought I saw her. Haley? There she is. Oh, hey, Haley. Okay, sorry. All right. Christian Woods, if you'll come on down. And we are blessed to have Christian Woods here at our school. Love this guy. I think he's a very humble guy. Maybe the guys know him more than I do. You can stand right here. like those shoes, but no, Christian is a humble person, I believe. That's what I've experienced. It's his first year here. He come from Warren Central. If I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think word of mouth by the chamber boys. They're in the neighborhood, live in the neighborhood, and they just told him about our school. Next thing you know, the dad's over here, mom's here, taking a tour. And man, this guy right here is a joy, a treat to have, not just on the in our program, but at the school. You know, and man, I love walking in and seeing those three guys walk in. They're just tired, and they smile. He goes, "What's up?" They give me one of those, you know. And so, but I love this guy. I'm glad he's here. As far as basketball, you know, I said, man, this kid, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if he's a guard. I don't know if he's a big man. It took me a while. Dad helped me a little bit on that and then he actually came in and talked to me. And we have an open door with the kids. You know, let's talk. You know, and he just told me, "Coach, I need to be more inside." And so, man, he had a really good year. Got stronger and stronger as the year went on. He could really jump out of the gym if he just doesn't hold back. You know, I know that, but I just try to light a fire underneath him, if that makes sense. And once he figures out that I'm just going to go all out, Coach. This guy could be an animal. He can be an animal. I look forward to him and a couple of us going off to the college level. We're trying to figure some things out with GPA. We're going to get there. He's been working hard on that. Really proud of him. He led us, but also he's a newcomer, and he doesn't get it just because he's a newcomer, because we don't get this award every year. And but he's a newcomer. But Christian did a lot. I mean, he'd rebound, he'd put backs. He would just jump. And I'm like, what is he doing? You know, he'd kind of be awkward and just shoot it. It would go in, you know. Remind me a lot of Dominique Wilkins back in the day, you know. Oh yeah. So anyway, but no, he just brings a lot to our team. He brings a lot of problems to the other teams as far as mismatches. Hard to guard. You know, he can get out here and take you to the rim. He can post you up. And now we're working on range. I'm hoping maybe you coaches help him with this range. And but he is definitely our rookie of the year.
Woo!
Don't laugh at me. All right, my next one here. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry. Elijah Matt, come on down.
Yes, Ricky!
So Elijah grew, which was really awesome. What's the weather like up there? Is it snowing? Okay. Anyway, Elijah, when you need a laugh, this guy will make you laugh.
Yes.
And but man, I tell you what, it is really neat to see where Elijah is from his freshman year to now. It is incredible. In fact, you know, the colleges are starting to contact me. They're starting to get in his ear, and it's just really neat. I'll say this. I feel like a few years ago, we're just looking for somebody to kind of take us to the next level a little bit. And Mikey Roberson, I don't know if you know that name, but he kind of took us to another level, if you want to say, when it comes to 1A basketball. You know, and some other kids came because of Mikey Roberson came. And Mikey Roberson just had a work ethic that was just incredible. And he also rubbed off, I think, on Tanner a little bit, you know. Tanner got to see what it's like to try to get to that next level. You got to earn it. And then Mikey, I think, took us to another level. And I feel like Elijah, even though we finished 10 and 13, I'll explain something here in a minute, this kid's going to the next level. And I hope it doesn't go to his head, but he's good, you know, and he's getting our name out there a little bit. And I hope that doesn't go to his head, but he's a pretty humble kid. You know, and it seems just like calls just would not go our way this year. Especially the dunk, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, all-around player. He had to do a lot of things for us. Run point, play the 2, 3, 4, or 5 spot. He had, you know, and at times it's very frustrating because, you know, a lot of those spots is not really his full strength. And so, but he's willing to do whatever. He liked being a 6'6" point guard. He liked that. But he just was willing to do whatever. And he'd get frustrated. And there's times we would kind of get at each other. And I just started to remind him, just let me coach you. And he would just take a breath and he'd let me coach him. As frustrated as he was, he'd let me coach him. And so I see a lot of growth. And I'm really excited, looking forward to him and seeing what God has in his life. And so we have a couple of awards. One's from us. So, you know, I look at all the stats. He led about in every stat we have. whether it's offense, defense, you name it. I think one time he had a triple-double. I included, I think, maybe 10 blocks. Was down in Evansville, and those guys like, who is this kid? I was like, it's Elijah. Anyway, so, but anyway, our most outstanding player of the year, it's Elijah.
Woo!
So then also, this is nothing from me, had absolutely nothing for me to do with me. It absolutely had to do with Elijah getting recognized from other people, And so what was cool, there's a voting poll and things like that, and there's like a bunch of different teams, I get that, but when you're compared to all these 4A kids, and they're making All-State, first team All-State, second team All-State, and third team, you're looking at the 15 best players in Indiana. And that's quite an honor. So, and Elijah was mentioned in the next group. It was the honorable mention group. And what I mean by honorable mention is he was this close to being in that top 15 list, if that makes sense, in the state of Indiana. And so that had nothing to do with me. That's all about the IBCA coaches poll and all that. I didn't have any vote on that. But he gets a plaque today, and we got to tweak it a little bit. They made a mistake. They got our plaque on there. So I'm going to go back and get it fixed. But he is going to get All-State honorable mention.
Woo!
All right, real quick. I saved the very best for last. And so Michael Lee, come on up here. Come on over. I'm not going to bite you, I promise. All right, I'm going to get emotional. Try to rehearse. I look stupid when I cry.
We all do.
So Mike come to us his freshman year. He come from, I think, Beach Grove area. Maybe being bullied a little bit, I'm not sure. But he comes over here. Can I tell? Yeah. Yeah. Sure, it's fine. All right. Sorry. I thought I could. I thought I should ask. But anyway, he comes to us, and Michael has epilepsy. And so he comes over to us, and I'm actually the freshman sponsor. Tanner, Jason, Stanley, all those guys, Jose Guzman, the list goes on and on. Pretty big class at the time. And Mike comes to us. And I thought, man, and some of those guys could be pretty tough. So I thought, man, I wonder how this is going to go. From day one, Michael won every one of those kids over. Now, I didn't have to worry about anybody picking on Michael Lee. In fact, I had to worry about if somebody did pick on Michael Lee, the freshman class will kill you. He won these guys from day one. So I see him out here. We played a lot of basketball those days. Yeah. So, sorry, Mr. Porter, but you've been in class. Anyway, we played a lot of basketball, and so I saw Michael and got to know him. And so he wanted to be part of the team. And so I thought, well, okay, we'll make him manager, and we've done that a lot, in the past and things. So next thing I know, Mike Kinney was with us at that time, and I want to tell you something you never heard before. So, I forget, it's like his freshman year, he's really wanting to dress, and I can't even remember, we might have got him in a uniform at the end of the year or whatever. But here's what I do know, the next year, sophomore year, somehow Mike gets in a uniform, he's in practice. And Mike Kinney's like, let it be. Back then we had 20, 23 kids and athletes, and we're running drills that are just crazy fast, and and Mike's like, just I got you, man. Mike came in. So anyway, Mike, he's in a uniform, he's practicing, he's still our trainer, and so next thing you know, Mike Kinney's like, I'm going to dress him JV. I'm like, okay. So we talk with Mike, and here's the thing about Mike, he's very understanding. We are open one-on-one. He can ask me questions. I'm going to answer it honestly, and he can take it. But he's also going to ask me the hard question, and I got to answer it. So anyway, so okay, we did that, and so then it just got to a point throughout basketball. It's like, Mike, I went to Mike, Coach K. I went to Coach K. I said, Coach K, I think I got to take Mike out. He's slowing us down in the drills. Don't, Coach, don't. I got it. So long story short, next thing you know, Mike is actually starting to do the drills. He's starting to get caught up. He's starting to do things. And I would call him out. Mike, get slow down. I got you, Coach. So I mean, and that went on and on and on. And so then this year, we got 10 kids. 10 kids. And Mike was there. He might have missed 2 or 3 practices, maybe because of work. But you talk about dedicated, persistent, sticking with, overcoming adversity. Two of my favorite moments with Mike was when I gave him the game ball last year when I wasn't coaching, but when he hit a shot from right here, I think, where Sarah is. He made a shot right there. You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We went nuts, and I think the other team got mad because we swarmed the floor, and there's still like 3 seconds on the clock, right there on the floor. And we took Mike and went in there and I gave him the game ball. That man, you talk about joy. And all the kids are happy, and that was one of my favorite moments. But probably the better moment I had was when we went to Anderson. Was it Anderson, Brad? Yeah. So I get Mike. When Mike, like he's just on the bench doing this, waiting. He rocks like me. We're fidgety. We got a lot of the same habits, but he's like, I could just see him like, all right, go in. And I put him in early that game. He comes out and he. Boom, he hits one. I mean, 2 in a row. How many total? Just the 2. Just the 2. You hit 3? Yeah, I thought you hit 3. So the story is he hit 3, but what was neat is normally at the end of the game, we're trying to get Mike a bucket, right? And everybody's guarding him real hard or whatever, just, we got a little irritated. Then finally some teams would be like, hey, we're going to let him shoot, which was cool, But in this game, they are guarding him legit because he's whooping on them. And I'm like, God, this is awesome, man, and we're just going nuts. But he hit one, probably my most favorite. He hits it. He goes, I go, oh my God. I look at the ref looked at me because I thought, we're getting a technical foul, man. He looked at me, I go, oh, like that, and they let it go. And anyway, I guess it was like a LeBron James thing. Is that what it was? I didn't do it right. Oh, you want to do it? You want to do it?
Do it.
Yeah, do it. I mean, he did that, and I was like, I didn't know whether to get upset, I didn't know what to do. I looked at the ref, I'm like, you gonna tee us up? What you gonna do? He's like, I don't know, just all right, whatever. So it was awesome, totally awesome. I got an award for Mike, and we don't just give awards out just to. Here's his letter for. Sorry, Coach. Your letter, buddy. Your letter. You're welcome. You deserve it. And then, anyway, so. When we lost our last game, there's a lot of emotion, right? Last game, you lose your game, there's a lot of emotion. You're talking to all the seniors and this and that. But anyway, I don't want to go back and relive it. I think Mike remembers all the things I said to him. But anyway, he inspires me. He 100% inspires me. So I asked the coaches, Mike deserves an award. Not just for 1 year, but for like 3.5 years of this dedication, commitment, and pulling us off. And not only that, teaching us life lessons. And so a lot of them wanted to give like the Michael Lee Award. I was like, I don't know if we can do that. But the word that we come up with is just simply inspirational. You inspire me, dude. And I challenged the ball team that my ball team, I love them all, and they got great work ethic. But if they had what he has, like they had his heart. You know what I'm saying? And man, I love you. I'm going to miss you, and I can't wait to see you graduate. And I'm so proud of you. Inspirational award, Michael Lee. Is that all right? Drop your letter. All right, I think I took too much time. Haley, if you want to make your way forward, I just want to say a couple things as she's coming forward.